Welcome back to my channel. Today I will introduce to you a really cool thing that about real-time, and also it works with loopback asset control list as much more security. So let's get started. I will launch my project. Okay, so it has been downloaded. CMS. Okay, now I will do install all packages for API is a loopback framework, and backend is for admin and build with Angular 2. And here is frontend. So cd API and npm install. Okay, so the package has been downloaded, and the next thing we need to change to backend. And same thing for the API, we need to install all the packages. Okay, so the package for backend is downloaded. So we need to move to next thing, that is the front end. So same thing, we do install or package. So we done. So get back to API. And we do need to start a MongoDB, and by typing. Okay, so before start the MongoDB, I will open the project in my development tool. And so open in work loop CMS. So we do have an API and backend and frontend. So before start the API server, we do need to click on server and make some config. Okay, so that is data struct. It should be loop back CMS. Okay, that is the database name. So it's okay. So now I am going to start the MongoDB server by typing MongoDB. Okay, and open new tab in my terminal. I will resize my terminal to Lacquer. You can see now in API we simply just typing npm start. Okay, oh, something happened. It's the not in loopback. Yeah. Okay, something happened. So server, I think I will create store. This is for we store all file uploads by public. Okay. Now clear console. So npm store again. Okay, so by default when the app start, if it checks, so I will show you my code. So in boost, in installation, so if the user model is empty, and it will be create a default username is the admin and password is the admin, and which head role administrator, that is the power role. It has fully control in our database. Okay, so I'm open new tab in my terminal and change directory into backend and typing ng service server in port 4200. Okay, we wait for the server building, and as one is complete, we should available for localhost with port 4200. Okay, it's complete successfully. So that means we could open that in, so let me open it, Google Chrome. Open that. And now I will log in with admin, and this is the default username and created by system. So let's create a new username admin and log in. So we do have an admin. Okay, so no content are created here. Okay, so you can check in the controller, we do have a user connected, and this is shortcut. So this is user ID for administrator. So user connect. So I just make that for into console for telling. So in server config, a server.js, you can see I just console up here. A user connect and with user ID, and when he disconnect, I also made a logger here by a user disconnected, a user with user ID. So and that we could see in the console. Okay, so let's open new tab in my terminal and change to front end. So here we have a start front end application by typing ng service. So and backend is listen on ports 4200. So we need to, for example, in 4300 as well. So and waiting for front-end app building. So when it's complete, it should be available in localhost with port 4300. Okay, so it completes successfully. So I will open the front end in my Firefox browser and close it up. Okay, so let me resize Firefox browser to smaller and open in Chrome and resize it to smaller as well. And here we have a dashboards, and here we have a that is front end. We do have a front end, and so I change the router to block. Okay, so it does block, and no content are correct here. So get back to API server, and here is the API server URL. So I could open it in my Apple Safari. Open in Safari. So before to check, for example, I will get our user. I will get with the method authorization required. So that means I didn't log in. So before that, I must log in. So finding a login routing. Okay, login here. So we do port the user data by username admin and with password should be admin. For example, I typing in close user, we can see with get back with user. So here is the admin data user role. So let's copy that ID. This is a token, a set token ID. Let's copy that and pass to a set token and set that. Okay, so that means we are now login with admin. So we can try check. Okay, let's check. So also we can able to post a note. Post a note, that means the content, correct new content. Okay. So let me introduce about a chat controller in Loopback. So today I have done really cool thing, and that is a shortcut. Let's check in command meeting and real time. So when we do send a data to a user, they are in shortcut connecting. So we do check the permission. So let me show you. So we do check the permission, and here is my set context variable, and we do check a set context. If we see the permission is allowed or not allowed. If allowed, we do send the data to him, and otherwise we don't send to him. So let me show you how to configure a set controller list in Loopback. So in command, so make sure you are in under API folder and command and model. For example, now we are working with a node type, this node model. So in the node model, we are going to use the real-time function in. So we enable that under machine and set to true. So let's take in a set controller list. It's ACLS. So you can see by default, I did set a if everyone, we did deny everything, and then if user everyone, that means they are not logged in. We only allow the files and file by ID and file one and count so how many content in the model. And then if we found the user withdraw admin data, we allow everything. If the user log in and he is admin, he can do anything, post, correct, or delete content. and owner. We do allow owner only find by ID and destroy by ID. That means he can delete his our content. Okay, so now I will remove that, and that means now the user not login, they cannot see the content. Okay, so I will save that, and we do stop and start again the API server. Okay, so let's check in browser Google Chrome. This is the backend, and now I will refresh. You can see a user connect, and this is the administrator. And now I refresh. Here I'm not login. This is a not login user. So I will do refresh. Blah. Okay. And this is the debug method. We don't care about that. You can see the user connected. Just an email. And one more thing I will introduce to you about the front end. In the front end, I create a block component block, and this block lists all the node content. You can see here. I also this implement the real-time function by in constructor. It's real-time connect, and I do port subscription and real-time observer a port. So that means when we found a new content, great, we supply it and send to user and display in block list. Okay, and one more thing that is delete separation. So when we a content being deleted, so it also send to user, and we also remove that it's in real time. So the same thing for backend up nodes, and this is node list. I do implement real-time service as well. So I just only to surprise the content when it created. So we also log to console with socket data file to return, and also add to the model list and display to backend as well. So let me do a new tab by create a new content. And we also disable the row. That means the user are not logged in. They can't see the new content being pushed. Okay, so let's see in action. I will do a resize a summary to smaller as well. And so in the notes and post. Okay, so I will create the ID. We don't need ID, and so the user ID, it should be user, it's admin user. I copy that. Title user ID, post here, and this is publish, and my first content. Here is a body content, and when I submit, let me submit. Okay, so we only in the backend. He are logged in with the administrator, and he could accept any content. And in front end, you can see we don't see anything, and because he are not logged in, and we change the permission in node.json, and for everyone we deny any. Okay, so let's get back to a set controller, and we turn on the anyone can see the nodes. Get back, and I will save that. And also I do restore the API server. And the same for I do refresh the admin dashboard. So we found new user connectors. And the same for blog. Now I do refresh. Okay. So let's create a new other content and see my second content. Here is the body. Okay, I'm going to submit, and you can see in action. Submit. Okay, so now in the front end also supply a new content. It also get content, new content, and in backend as well. So if I remove a second content in backend, in front end should be removed. Let's see. It's cool. Real time. It's real time. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you in next video. And if you need to download this package, visit GitHub, my username and Loopback CMS, and download that. And if you have any question, so leave a comment in my video. Thank you and bye for now.